Welcome back, everybody. We have a little different style of hunting video to share today. We've got a mixture of a podcast and a mixture of a normal video of a hunt. And what we're going to do is just play through the clips of an entire Nebraska turkey hunt where Trevor goes and fills a couple of tags, and we're just going to walk you guys through that with a backstory, kind of an interview session with us through the eyes of his lens, and share it that way. So his spring turkey tour continues now. I'm probably going to put in where I'm talking to you on the phone about you going on this.
Wake up in the morning, so if I don't respond, see you in the morning.
Okay.
So, all right, buddy. See ya.
See ya. And then you mentioned it in the last video, which was cool. I didn't know you did that when you finished this hunt.
Work till Wednesday. Today's Friday, so I'm gonna head to Nebraska and hopefully do some good on public birds out there.
I figured if I put it on video, then I'd be like, yeah, I definitely got to go now.
Yeah, so we'll start with that in the actual video, but then from there,
Cool.
I'm just going to put these in and drop them into the video.
So there's a lot of clips. I mean, there's 12 hours of driving. And
I assume this is leaving Illinois, huh?
yep.
Good morning.
Do you hate watching yourself?
No,
Oh. I know you're like, I love it.
it's great.
As stated in the previous video or segment or whatever you want to call it of my bow hunt yesterday morning, headed to Nebraska. Got some vacation time I need to burn, and I'm off till Wednesday. Today's Saturday, so I'm headed out to some public land out there and hoping to get it done on film with one of those goblin, white-tipped, beautiful mountain birds. So, stay tuned.
I'm surprised you didn't stay out there longer. If you didn't have to come back. But you only had 2 tags, so.
Yeah, I just bought the one before I rolled, and then I had, I'm trying to think, Saturday. So I drove out all day Saturday, basically hunted Sunday, and then came back Monday. So it was pretty quick hunt. I knew it would be, but I was basically going to have a day and a half of hunting, but had a good area that I hunted a year prior, or a few years back whenever I was out there. So I already kind of done my homework and knew there was birds, but a little unexpected surprise once I did get out there. So.
You're just showing us here that it's 10 hours, leaving at 7:30. So that's as soon as you hit the road? It's about
I was, let's see, 36 way. Yeah, that would have been after I'd been in Missouri at that point.
What's the total?
I'm trying to think. It was about a 12-hour drive out there, so.
So you'd already been a couple hours on the road.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on, let me turn this up.
So this was a nice delay.
Oh, traffic.
Yeah, there was a bad wreck up here.
0 miles per hour on an interstate does not get you to your destination very quickly.
Cool thing is Donovan and his wife were heading eastbound right there. I didn't see him, but we met someplace right along through that wreck. Tanker truck went off the side of a bridge and exploded, and
Oh,
it was rough.
actually, I think I remember you mentioning that.
Yeah.
I just saw the hazards on the video, and I didn't expect that to be good. Here you're in Kansas, or
Nope.
you went to Nebraska?
Yeah, Nebraska. I went
straight
yeah.
into Nebraska.
I think that was Missouri, maybe. I don't remember.
Yeah, I was thinking you would have taken I-70 through Kansas, but you were north
went
of that.
north, yeah. What? Coming to an Illinois field near you, unfortunately.
Here's where you start getting bored.
Oh man, yeah, I think I'm probably rapping here.
Are you serious?
Hearing it?
Kid Rock?
Mm-hmm.
Cowboy.
Oh, good times.
Women come equipped with scripts and fake breasts. Find a nest in the hills, chill like Flint. Buy an old drop top, find a spot to pimp. Then I'm a kid, rock it up and down your block with a bottle of scotch and watch lots of crotch. Buy a yacht with a flag saying chillin' the most, then rock.
That's crazy. Just pulling up to the piece of public. I've been seeing quite a few turkeys on private all the way to it. And that one threw me for a loop. I have never seen an antelope in this area. I've been here I've hunted here once a couple years ago, but then this is, I've been through this area quite a bit and you just don't see many. Mule deer is about the extent of it, so pretty cool sight. I had to document it, but we're just gonna go pull up here, make sure the access is still good into the parking lot, and debate whether or not I need to waltz back there and roost them, or probably go find some supper in a hotel. But
Yeah, and that's getting, that house right there is where I turn to get to the gravel road that leads into that public, so.
Don't get out of the way, homie.
That's good.
Hey, 37 people are going to watch this.
I blurred out mailboxes. Last time I hunted this piece, I had it all to myself. Long walk in, long walk out every day, but well worth it.
we're gonna really hope when we pop up over this knob that there isn't campers and vehicles. It's just an empty parking lot, which I think it will be.
And it's full.
Boy, was I wrong. Yeah, I bet my attitude and tone changes.
Alright, well, as expected, I'm going for a hike. Also expected, parking lot of vehicles. Not ideal, but it is what it is. So we're gonna go see what we can make of it. And I think all it means is I just gotta walk farther than the rest of them. But they travel from a good ways to get here, so I imagine they're gonna be doing about the same. But we're at least gonna go back in here and see if we can at least hear one this evening.
That was the wild thing, was I think everybody had that mindset of, well, there's a lot of people here, we just need to walk farther than them. And everybody was walking past birds, including myself. And I was like, huh, well.
It's that way on local public deer hunting, especially because people watch the videos and read the articles that you gotta get in deep.
Yep.
And they're in the parking lot because everybody left.
Yeah.
So this clip here, you've left the parking lot and probably getting to where you're going.
Yeah.
Still hiking. Gone probably a little over a mile. Just gonna get up here on this vantage point where I can listen into a lot of draws.
What's the elevation? Or is it not?
It's not terribly high,
3 or 4?
I would say, maybe.
Maybe hear some gobbles. Maybe see some people. Just kind of get an idea where everything's at tonight.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get up on a spot where I can glass and listen to a lot of different areas. And once I just plopped down, it ended up working out really well.
You're just so tired.
Oh, God. It is literally. It was like our Colorado. Just keep hiking, every step was uphill.
Your faces are...
Bless you. Poor kid.
Yeah, it looks like I just felt myself sneezing because of these Nebraska allergies.
Dandelions are terrible out there.
It seemed like all the foot traffic was on the road, so I tore off of that.
Tracks.
Freshens too.
I'm surprised it's damp enough to lay tracks out there. It's not that arid yet, I suppose.
Yeah,
And you're north for, far enough north.
It's pretty weird terrain, but I mean, that one was just up on a little knob. It's just where I was glassing from that evening.
And this is that view.
Yep. Yeah, just kind of doing the terrain, and it's pretty neat. After that view there, I finally just start picking birds off. I'm like, oh, well, there's 2 strutters, there's a strutter, there's 3. And I was just...
So your mood changed.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah. Because at that point, I was kind of a little bit bummed. I thought, man,
Yeah, I guess I'll go hike and see what
I was going to go sit by my lucky tree, walking straight south. But it was kind of neat because I didn't get to venture into any of this portion of it. There's a road system back in there.
And that's what this is.
Yeah, so those little black dots are all strutters.
Oh, in the gap?
Yep.
Yeah. And how big is this block? Roughly.
I don't remember. I want to say it's 2,500 to 3,000 acres.
So it's not big. But what you can see, you can hunt.
Yeah. So when I zoom out, I mean, that's
What are these little patches?
some type of, I don't know, the Game and Fish Department or Game and Parks till it up and plant something. There's actually, where those birds were just to the west of them, there was some wheat planted. But I had some type of ground that they do some tillable work to. I don't know what it is.
It's almost like, I wonder if it's a test. Is this BLM?
No.
Oh,
It was just state ground owned by Nebraska.
Okay. It looks like test plots of some kind. What kind of,
Yeah, what
who
can we
knows?
get to grow there?
Yeah.
Now here were birds that I walked past. That was the first mountainside right up there by the parking lot.
Right on the windmill.
Yep.
Could have set a little blind in that.
There's a water hole right there. And there was 2 or 3 strutters in that group. And at that point I was kicking myself. I was like, well, son of a gun, I wish I could have spotted those things from the parking lot. And this was all me sitting down in a matter of 10 minutes and just started glassing. Once I did that, I was like, there's birds everywhere here still.
There is, yeah.
So.
Because we've seen 8, and I'm sure you saw more, but just what I can pick out.
Yeah.
That's like, on my hunt, going on at the same time, I found a bird. Of course, I'm not looking at the same amount of property, but
Right.
I think the numbers here with Easterns are not super healthy compared to out there.
No. But you don't see near the amount of small predators, possums, coons, stuff like that are nailing nests.
Yeah. Coons here are the problem, I think.
Yeah, this one I thought was looking pretty good for a second. He actually worked up behind me, and I heard him gobbling.
Can you hunt until sunset?
Yes,
So you could have shot that bird at that time.
correct. Yeah, and I don't remember the exact time of each day, but yeah, it was. You can hunt from half an hour before sunrise to sunset, I believe. So those all-day birds made it pretty cool. And I actually ended up hearing a guy call to that bird like crazy down the hill from me,
He
or from
saw it.
him. He heard it, and I thought they were moving up on it. It was going to push him to my ridge. Man, this is going to get pretty good pretty quick, but that bird ended up roosting right there.
And this is you, I assume, explaining it.
All right, well, we'll consider that a success for night 1, I guess. We only had an hour and a half. I was watching some birds way back there that I was attempting to go after. And I kept hearing some hen clucks back here, so I kind of eased around. And sure enough, they're on that far hillside. But they're about 1/8 of a distance what those others were. They just roosted on that back side. So I just need to figure out if I can get up on that ridge tomorrow morning. Looks like a bitch.
And it was. It was bad.
You knew that was coming, didn't you?
Yeah.
But I think that's why they're there, because no one else is getting to them. So we'll see. If I could get up there, that'd be awesome.
Okay, so you went back to the truck after this.
The car.
Correct. You went back to the Focus. after
38 miles
filming
an
that.
gallon. It's a bad hunting rig. And yeah, so I went and got a hotel that night. And then talked with some guys that were hunting. I want to say they're from Georgia. They've been getting their butts whooped all week. And so they were packing up and leaving. And I watched the birds that were by the windmill was where they came out of. I was like, well, why weren't you guys shooting? And they said they just wasn't working. They couldn't figure them out. So they were going to go check out another piece. So I said I'd be back in the next morning. And I knew I was either going to go after the original birds I saw way, way back there. But these guys come walking out. And I said, well, if you guys aren't here by 4:30 or 4:45, I said, I'll probably head up that way if you don't mind. And so I sat there in the parking lot. They didn't show. So that was the direction I headed.
Okay. So then this is the next morning after
Right.
talking to them and leaving.
And yeah, I was trying to there was actually probably 15 birds up in there rather than the 2 that I saw.
And you've heard them at this point?
Yeah. And I was trying to get across a certain ditch, and I just couldn't make it happen. Just couldn't. And
Weak
I'll
legs.
talk more about that. Oh no, it was.
Yeah,
I didn't have the rock climbing gear to get down and out.
Anytime you're looking at vast amounts of ground, just like when we were in Colorado and we go, oh, we think it's a hill. We can get up there in half an hour.
3 hours later,
days.
we're finally doing it. Yeah.
It literally was a couple of days
Yeah.
there.
It's
So
This isn't that bad, but all those ditches, all the snow melts, and all the deadfall pours into there, and the banks are just straight up and down. I mean, it's tough. But yeah, I think that clip there has pretty good sound. It's weird. Yeah, I'm trying to get my slate to work. It was frosty.
Yeah, mine's always frosty. That's my problem.
Well, 40-degree temperature swings out there.
Yeah.
It was rough.
Yeah, I heard
Yeah, and those birds aren't far, which I don't have great mics.
They're not far because you're real light on that slate.
They're a couple hundred yards away at best, but that ditch that you're seeing is what I tried to cross in the dark, and I'm like, I just can't do it.
Hoping they'll just fly it
Yeah.
at that point. And you're probably getting ready to talk about that.
All right, good morning. Morning one here in Nebraska. We got turkeys everywhere. Bad part is, I'm not where I want to be. I was trying to get just one knob over, where that bird just gobbled. But I couldn't get to it. Because I don't have mountain climbing gear. I took a wrong turn way back there, and I thought, it'll be fine. I should be able to get close to him. And I'm still close, I think. There's a very good chance a bird's going to come through here. But I'm not as close as I'd like to be. I think we'll still see quite a few. There's some gobbling over here. Just had one gobble right back there. So I think it'll go good. Hang tight.
Oh yeah, there you go. Thumbs up, you heard a gobble.
I would say they were hammering at this point. I mean, I think actually, it was when it just broke light that I originally only had one tag, and Nebraska's all mobile permits. So I was able to buy another tag sitting there in the dark because I heard so many birds that were roosted right in front of me. I was like, it's going to be dumb just to have one tag. So I went and bought another one, feeling pretty confident.
At that point, you're like, there's birds.
Yeah.
And you bought a tag.
Another one because I wasn't driving for one bird out there. Originally, I was like, it'd be cool if I got one. Then I heard how many birds were in front of me. I was like, okay, I'm buying another one.
If there's a double.
No, double, triple, quadruples. I mean,
That's more common with Merriam as well, right?
right.
Merriams.
Yeah, they were still pretty flocked up because heck, they had snow out there
Recent.
a week and a half before I was out there. I think this is where I'm having a pep talk with myself, campaign style.
That did not work. Everything flew down and went to the general location where I was trying to get to in the first place, so I'm guessing they've had some pressure in here already, and that's just their natural movement now, so I'm going to try to go up on the ridge and see if I could loop around. I think it still stays in public through there, but we'll see. I just got to get over that. Because they're still gobbling back in there.
So yeah, I looked at the map and I knew once I got up on top of that, I mean, I call it a ridge, but it's a mountain, and I got to get on top of it and it makes a big horseshoe shape. So if I could just walk that all the way around and come down on top of them. There was a spot through there where the public and private got pretty close to where I didn't know if I'd even be on public anymore. So I knew it was close, but I thought, well, it's worth trying. And so the next, I would say, half hour was me hiking up and around, and man, it was tough, but worth it.
And you can see here, there's a lot more daylight.
Joke when I call these things mountain birds, but it's exactly what they are. I'm just getting ready to go up and over all this.
circle around to that. And a bunch of hens started talking right down in there where I originally was. Where it just set up across from. I mean, they'd still have to fly the ditch to me, but they can do that pretty easy. I haven't heard a gobbler with them in a while. Just making sure there isn't a gobbler right there before I do a big circle. Just have to come all the way back. Well, found them. In that back field. Now debating. Go back down, make a loop, or what?
And so I thought I was gonna have to go across that ditch again. But I was like, there's too many gobbles back in here. I know that's not the case.
That's not the only bird.
Yeah. So I knew I just had to find them again. But those were, man, slam dunk down that field every morning. Yeah, just a whole pile of
Lord.
them. Yeah.
Found one.
What we're after.
Yeah, definitely. How many of those are gobblers?
I think there was 3 or 4 in that group.
That looks like a big bird.
Yeah. Of course, that one's all puffed up.
Muleys.
Yeah. I kind of thought they were gonna mess with me if there was any birds close strutting.
Every western trip I've taken for anything, the mule deer are plentiful.
It's a good sign, and they're pretty fun to hunt.
I know, I need to go hunt.
We need to dive into them more.
We do. That is something I need to do. I think I'm more excited about hunting them than elk. I don't know if I want to say that, but
I think one elk and then I would be fine hunting mule deer the rest of my life.
yeah, I just want to go hunt mules. I really do.
Just made my loop around, and there's 3 or 4 gobblers in this canyon right here next to me. Wish I did. I thought there were one farther over. I would have went back and came over that way, but I think we should be able to see them good this way, so I'm just gonna keep creeping and try and get a better view of them.
Just trying to stay in the shade was key on all that.
So you're not boldly, proudly out in the sun.
I mean, you can see how good I can see out there, so you know they can too. And then I think right through there on that clip is where I was just walking, and then they all just hammered down there. And I finally laid eyes on them.
Things are getting real. What are those birds? 150 yards?
No,
A lot
they're,
further?
yeah, 500-600 yards.
Dang.
But they're at the bottom of it's kind of like the little bowl. I'm on the top of the ridge, and that just leads up to me.
Okay.
And those are about where the ones that I saw strutting, the very first ones I spotted, that's that same little meadow area.
You just worked down and
Yep, and I was just coming around and actually didn't even have to work down. So there's just strutters everywhere.
that's wild.
There's 2, that one. There's actually 2 up there. And then just some more.
That's crazy.
It's awesome, man.
Jake?
There was, I think, 2 jakes in this group. Some of those are jakes. Like the jakes wouldn't strut much, not with that many toms around.
Well, yeah, their competition is pretty fierce.
Yeah.
Probably get tired of getting whooped.
Well, we found them. I think they'll roost right in here too, so I'll probably spend the whole day in this little valley. Hopefully I won't need to. I only had 1 tag this morning, but then I heard how many gobbles there was, and I bought another one. 3's just being greedy, I feel, so. I think I could do some sneaking on them, but those hens are kind of working their way up this way, so I know wherever they go, that's where the gobblers are going to go too, but might get a little better setup. See if I can't convince them. Start heading this way a little quicker.
You're never going to go 30 minutes without hearing a Merriam gobble. It's stupid, but it's how it is.
I can hunt turkeys like that.
I tried getting you to on this exact trip, actually, there, bud.
I was doing this. I'm a fucking idiot. Cut to cussing myself in the blind because it was probably about this time. This would
Probably, yeah.
Would this have been Sunday morning?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been Sunday. Yeah, because we were, I think I'm actually talking to you on the phone or texting you in one of these clips.
Yeah.
Saying you had some pretty cool video to show me.
I really did have awesome video. Wasn't near as cheerful.
Yeah, so this one, old gobbler just pounding away at the dirt. All amped up and...
Wow. I've never seen that.
No.
I thought, honestly, when I saw that, I thought he was mounted on a hen.
Nope, just dirt. Rubbed one off and back at her. Yeah, see, she's over beside him. Not even on him. Or not on her.
It looked like he was breeding though.
Yeah, so someplace, right through here is where I started getting those hens, and a jake or two are in there and they're starting to work up towards me. So I think whenever I seen that, it's when I finally let out the first call. Yeah, so by this point, I called to the hens, they answered back and they're coming.
2 shutters.
2 toms, yeah. And they're probably, I don't know, 200 at this point. And they're just on a beeline to me. They both gobbled as soon as I called to them. But yeah, I got the hens. I think I did 3 or 4 yelps maybe. And every hen perked up, answered, and then it was just a line to me. What I should have done, see how that ridge is just gradual?
Mm-hmm.
I should have been one over and just made a nice path for him. But by that point, there was too many eyes. I couldn't move on them. So I just had to, hopefully, they worked right up to me. Because I'm trying to get them on my ridge. And see, they're starting to funnel. There's a gobbler in the back. And this bottom one started working. I thought I was going to just call them into my lap. And I was like, yes, this is going to happen. They're blinded in the sun.
Wow. Look at all those birds.
I know.
It's also different because they're not in an open field.
Yeah. And they're going up something that an Eastern would never even think twice about.
Mm-mm. No, they've been down in that wheat or whatever that is.
Yeah.
All day.
Pretty, pretty. So I was hoping they'd just come across right there towards me. And then it sucked because the birds were moving to another opening over here. Now this is where they all went into the cover. I knew the opening they were going to get to. It was either going to be a really far shot or they were going to come perfectly in. And I'm also on a mountainside like this, so trying to get a tripod set up in focus, it was crazy. So sorry for the earthquake looking footage. Because I'm extending tripod legs, trying to do all this before those 9 birds pop out.
I actually like that you leave it running because we get that.
So this hillside here, man, I don't know. If I'd had a 12 gauge, my setup, it would have been real cool, real quick. Even if this bird was by himself, I probably would have tried it, but we might have had another Essential Outdoorsman video on the same morning.
Very
how
hungry.
to pepper a turkey and
how to know you need a better choke.
And I'm just shooting a 20 gauge. Fun fact, I've never killed a turkey with a 12 gauge. So my 20 gauge, I feel confident with my setup to 50 yards.
How far is that?
55 probably. So this is where the hens start pouring in. There's the strutter. And I'm trying to get him. Now here's where he turned, but I was getting real close to thinking about trying a shot at him. And then they just started working up, and it was on this ridge. I was like, okay, I gotta shoot at him. But then that dang hen got behind him.
Yep.
I just kept calling, hoping I'd pull him. And then he actually starts trying to run the hens over to me.
Yeah, I can see.
And they wouldn't do it.
He's like, no, we need to check this out.
Yeah.
You're forgetting half your flock.
Yeah, right. Through here, I thought, okay, this is... And I was very skeptical on the yardage.
Just too iffy.
Yep. So I thought, man, it's a lot of work and all these birds right up here too. Yeah, and here, this is where I was like, cool.
Wow.
He's trying to push them, but they wouldn't do it. So then here, the best I could do was either I drove 12 hours to get a bird or
get a video.
Yeah. So they just went up on the ridge, and I'm pretty close to the top of it here. And Merriams are pretty calm birds. So like right there, I just had one pick me off, and he telescoped his head. Eastern would have putted and been gone. So this one, he just saw movement, and then he's like, okay, then went back to doing his thing. So I just started sneaking without the camera. It already kind of cost me the shot at him right there on that hillside. So when you saw me raise my gun up there originally, I couldn't tell if I was shooting at a Jake or a Tom. So as soon as they started working again, I went back up over and just got closer until I found him on top of the hill. Got a bird that I knew was a Tom, looked at him through binos, yelped at him, he stuck his head up.
And we heard it right there.
Yeah. So when I shot, his buddy came and beat up on him a little bit, but I didn't want my hunt to be done in a 12
so
minutes.
you could have...
Yeah, I could have punched 2 tags right there. But I went out there, I killed the Tom on public. I thought, well, we'll worry about filming the second one.
Oh, cool.
So,
right.
And that was at like 8 o'clock in the morning. So at some point you should see me start marching back down here.
Sprinting.
Oh my God.
Do the Eddie Salter impersonation.
I was actually looking for the old shotgun shell because, as you know, on every turkey I kill with a gun, or any of them, I put the beard in the shell I shot them with.
Oh, you're coming back with the bird.
Oh, yeah. Prettiest birds in North America.
They are really nice.
The terrain, I don't know, there's just a combination of everything that you hunt them in. Not how I wanted to show you guys. I just couldn't take that shot on that hillside over there. That was just too far. There's too many birds. I didn't want to get in with those hens, but got him. Pretty, pretty, pretty Merriam. Golly, I love these birds. Well, I was just getting ready, finishing my jerky because I was hungry and tired of it, putting weight in my pack. Just getting ready to start cleaning that bird. I did some yelps just to see if there's anything behind me coming back in. And then I thought I heard a faint gobble. Was not sure. Now down here in the same spot, there is a single tom and a single hen. I think cleaning that bird might have to wait. I'm betting you they'll take the same path. I'll be ready for it this time.
So he just locked up in there.
Yep. And so he had one hen, and he was just hanging out there. And like I said, that whole clip, he was just in that little bitty section in the shade. Alright, well, that bird that was right there on that hillside, he's close. I don't know if it's the same bird that I was watching earlier, but it does. He sprinted up here. But
But then now there's another strutter down there in that bottom. So I'm just gonna keep going and see what happens.
I haven't watched any of this footage, so it's kind of neat. There could be a tail fan right behind me on the hill. I never even know it.
You just see it. Like, oh God.
I swear I can hear him walking. The bird that was with the one I just killed, I think, was coming back in. That's my decoy.
It's a good looking decoy.
Very good looking decoy.
So you're same spot still.
Yeah, this is, I cleaned, I think I cleaned my bird by this point.
I decided I was just gonna start cleaning that one. And these just keep gobbling. And they're getting closer, so I had to put a setter upon them. We'll see if it works.
So I thought, well, they're just gonna come in my lap. I mean, I am very about enjoying the moment after a kill like that. So just the one bird, I mean, I just kind of, some guys, if they got 3 tags, want to kill 3 tags, boom, boom, boom. Where, like that bird, I shot him and I was like, wow, I came out here in a day and then had it done by 8 a.m. So
You were soaking it in. Like you
and
said,
just
if you
enjoying
wanted
the
to
moment.
tag out, you
Yeah,
would have been
say
tagged
I
out.
could have the other bird right there, but one bird's enough at that point, and then
And
go
you're
get
still
on another
covered in them. It's
Yeah,
not
I
like
was
you
gonna
had
say
to get it done.
no.
Alright, just to give you an update. Just got that bird cleaned, got it all bagged away, got the breasts, legs, and drumsticks, tail fan, and beard in there. These birds back here, I don't know where they went. I think they started going down. I'm just noticing a common hub of action down there. I just heard another gobble over that way. I don't know if it was across the big ditch or if it was around the corner. But I think what I'm going to do, as much as I hate going down, inclining, or declining after work all that one to get up, I'm going to have to probably just go post up down there. Give me a nice shaded spot and just kind of hang out, because I have a feeling those birds are going to come back through there. That's where I saw them all messing around last night.
This was, I thought, just a sweet setup. Had the birds, or the decoys out at about 30 yards. So I was hoping I could just get good zoomed in footage of when the birds interacted with the decoys. Actually, the first time I put decoys out for Merriams. I never have done that. I packed them around that whole time, all the way up the mountains, through the mountains. I thought, oh, I'm going to use them.
So why don't you usually use them?
Usually I'm just cutting them off.
Because they're so visible?
Mm-hmm.
I do know there was a strutter down here an hour and a half ago. There was one right over there. There's been gobbling going on back here to the west. So, and this was the hillside I was watching last night from a long ways away, so just maybe they'll decide to come back in here. I think they will.
I assumed they'd roost right in there again. And I was wrong. So very wrong.
You're very excited at that point, though.
Yeah.
Because you're like, I got a bird. And
Yeah,
the odds are good that it's going to happen. As many has been in here.
Yeah, the pressure was gone. I did my goal. That was to go out and kill a public land tom in a day and a half. And I did it in the first couple hours, so that was pretty neat.
So this sits, I mean, you're there by noon.
Yeah.
So you've got to sit there for 7 hours.
Yep, it was a long time.
Well, the good news is I got a bird gobbling like crazy. Bad news is he's nowhere close to me. Much closer to my car, I think. But, anyways, I'm getting hungry. A little beef stew's on the menu tonight.
And as you can see, look how deep those pine needles are. I actually scooped down in there so far, but they were probably 1.5 feet. So all you could see of me was my chest up.
You had a blind bill out of needles.
Yeah, so it was going to be a pretty cool setup if something happened. I think all I ended up seeing was some hens come out of the hills. So here I was feeling pretty optimistic that they were just coming back down in there to roost. And there's going to be a gobbler or two behind these things. And nothing. I
So
couldn't
it was
believe it.
just these 3 hens.
3 hens, yeah. I ran into this on the way out. Mind you, I'm in northwestern Nebraska.
Is that a moose?
That is a moose.
Whoa. Are they supposed to be in northwest Nebraska?
They're on the sign at the parking lot.
That's awesome.
There is a duct taped sign that says moose in the area. I just thought it was a gag because everything else is a hard metal sign that's screwed in there by the game and park.
So the moose just moved in, so they made
And
a
they're like, oh
sign.
God, put a sign up.
Wow.
But that's a moose. 100%. Huh. Nasty little marsh area thing. That's crazy.
I think I was scared to call it a moose at first because I'm like, I don't know what I'm looking at.
That's a sick donkey.
That's a moose.
No, I probably got within 50 yards of it.
So they're kind of like muleys.
And yeah,
It's just like,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah, no fear.
Is that a calf?
Cow. It
wasn't
big.
full-blown?
Yeah, full blown. I'm assuming there probably was a calf
Nearby.
Yeah. All right, so went back to the hotel that night, and then I did roost some birds there on that property, or where I just came off of. And out there, it was pretty rough because I had a decent drive and a couple mile walk in, so I was only getting 5 hours sleep at night, and I'd been out for 14 hours that day. So I decided to just sleep. I got my bird on that piece of ground, and I was going to head home.
Oh, okay.
And as I was doing that, anytime I went past a piece of public on the way out there on this trip and a previous trip, if there was public and I saw turkeys, I just marked it on Onyx. So then I had all day, and actually I had 2 days to get back. So any of those pieces I thought looked pretty decent, I was just popping into the parking lot, reading all the rules, what I could camp at, just little things like that. And started getting into quite a few birds. So I don't know what clip this actually is.
We'll just play it.
So this is very impromptu hunting. I did not wake up in time to go to my original spot in Northwestern, which I was fine. I was beat. I was tired. And I did have a lot of spots mapped out in central and eastern Nebraska of public land places that I was going to check out on the way back through. And I drove past this spot, and there was just turkeys everywhere. So I figured, I'm in Nebraska, I've got a tag, I've got a shotgun, and I've got time. So I don't know how long I'll spend here, but at least just want to check it out a little bit. It seems to be a pretty good area. It's a little thicker than where I thought the turkeys would like to be, but holy crap, right there's one.
So as I'm pulling in, gobbler just runs across the road.
Now, it would have been legal for you to hop out, get into that field, and
Correct, yeah,
Tag
'cause both sides of that are public. It was a very long piece of ground. It wasn't real wide, but it was long. So I just kept driving past that bird and went down to established parking lot several hundred yards down past it. And there was another car parked there, and I just got out and grabbed my gun, and as soon as I got out of the parking lot, there's just, it's a gated off parking lot that allows you to walk into the public, no ATVs,
Vehicles.
UTVs. And then as soon as I step foot into there, I just see a tail fan to my right. And sure, I don't even know if I got him on film here. I just saw a tail fan and just plopped down. And I did call to him.
but this is at the parking lot, basically.
Yeah,
where
I'm
you
saying.
just saw that bird.
He was way west of here. So this is a different bird. And I was trying to call at him in between the traffic. And at one point I actually saw him gobble, stick his head out and shake it, but I couldn't hear it due to the interstate traffic.
Alright, well, as you can see, I'm right by the interstate still. That's where the parking lots are. And as soon as I piled out, I see a strutter down here. So I don't even know if he can hear my calls. I'm trying to call in between the traffic, but... So I'm just gonna post up here for a second. It might start slipping up through there. So we'll see.
So I decided that after a little bit of seeing him, I didn't see him go east. I thought maybe he spooked, so I was just going to start working west, going to potentially cut off that first bird I saw. And so I'm just slipping along, going from tree to tree. And then I get to here. Found him.
Wow.
Maybe 20, 25 yards.
And he sees you.
Yeah, I'm in the sun. But also what is happening is my gun is on my shoulder and my camera's right here at my chest. So I'm just filming this like this.
My gun is on my shoulder. I just spotted this. I'm gonna have to probably just try and kill him.
So he didn't go anywhere other than just tuck up into that shade right by that hedge tree.
Do you see him breathing?
Yeah,
He's hot.
He's hot. So yeah, you're probably wondering just like, why is this bird not dying? Because it's wide open. And so I'm literally, yeah, I'm just hoping he goes behind that tree so I can drop down and get my gun off my shoulder. And then there, yeah, I hit the deck.
So he got behind that and you're just getting down to get your gun.
Yep. So got my gun and then also got I was in the wide open sun. I was trying to get to the other side of the tree to where I get in the shade and post up, but he busted me before that. And so yeah, I'm struggling to get set up. And again, tripod legs out. By this point, I do have my gun and my camera is on the right side of me. So I'm farther to the left of my camera. I realized that he wasn't as spooked as I thought.
Oh, that's cool.
And he should be over there to the right. He starts working back out very slowly.
Semi in the background and this bird's in this brush to the right.
Yeah, because luckily I did have that brush once I dropped down because that main tree is right there that he's in the shade of.
Oh, okay.
And so I'm trying to zoom in on him and auto-focusing through that brush. It didn't turn out terrible.
And he's not very far
No,
away.
he's 20, 25. And I was really hoping he'd go back out. Yeah, so you should be able to hit a shot. So then this is where I was getting excited. And I'm still just in the broad sunlight, just beaming on me. And then just the more he telescoped, I thought he was getting nervous. So I was getting hot. He was hot. So
right now you're thinking he's about to putt and run.
yeah. Looking back, I had all the time in the world. I still do believe, but
Oh, okay. You're trying to get him in a little more.
Yep. And then I think I just leaned out here.
Oh.
Now, the reason that shut off, I told you my camera was to my right.
Yeah.
So I zoomed in more on his head, leaned out, shot. And when I shot, my shell closed the viewfinder.
Wow.
And I didn't know what would happen. So I just opened it back up and hit record again real quick. All right. Just like that, I'm done in Nebraska. Well, to be honest with you, I was done this morning. Alarm went off. I said, no, I'm not getting up. I wanted to shoot one Merriam. And on public land, I did it. 2 would be awesome. And coming back through here, there was a piece of public that I marked on the way out here. And I just saw a lot of turkeys. And then when I came back by, I saw 2 gobblers way down on that end and a lot of hens and stuff. And I thought, man, that'd be cool to stop in there. Just so happens I needed gas. There was public right across the interstate from the gas station. Went to that spot and gotta have a boat to access all that stuff. Well darn. I'm already dressed, so I'm gonna go backtrack a little bit and check this out. And as soon as I pulled in, had that one gobbler run across the road down there. I drove down about another half mile, I guess, to the next parking lot, pulled in. And as soon as I got down in this brush line, I just seen a tail fan bobbing through. So I started calling, nothing. And I tried calling, pretty close to the interstate. You can hear I-80 back there. And I thought he busted out. So then I was just straight up standing, walking, trying to find where this bird went to because it's so open in here. Well then, when I was right back there by that tree, probably 30 yards away, luckily there's a little bit of brush in between us, I just seen his chest and his head pop out. And he saw me because I'm in the blank, obvious sun. And luckily he strutted, came right back into the shade. I was able to duck down, get the camera up. I really wish he'd go out to about where the camera's at right now, but he did not want to leave the shade. He was right here, he saw me. So I zoomed in on his head, and luckily, I told you the shell shut the viewfinder, and it did, but it did record the shot, and then I was able to get back on him pretty quick. But he's just a Jake, but they taste the same, so not a bad little bonus for the ride home. I'm gonna get him cleaned and head on back home to Illinois for good this time. So I don't think you could call him a true Merriam by any means, but
Oh, really?
yeah.
So what would discern the difference there?
Just the mix. I mean, you got Rios just south of there. You got Easterns from Missouri, and then I mean, there's a melting pot basically of all the different breeds that come together right there.
And they can't interbreed.
Oh yeah, they gobble, they strut, and they taste just as good.
Yeah, it's
so.
a turkey.
First Jake I've ever killed with a shotgun, but
Is it really?
it is.
And then
Yeah, this is kind of neat. Well, I just got done cleaning that bird. I was getting ready to toss its carcass out. Just coming over here, I said, this looks like a nice little spot. And look what I found. So apparently there's a hen not too far away from me.
how'd you ever find that?
I was literally getting ready to throw that bird's carcass in there.
Well, time to go find a new spot for this carcass. Don't need any more predators around here than what there already is, so that's pretty cool.
And that's your Nebraska.
That's my Nebraska hunt. And then from there it was 10 hours of me singing more Kid Rock and Lord knows what else, but
We can just re-loop the Kid Rock rap and nail that part down.
it'll be good.
But yeah, guys, I wanted Trevor to sit down and explain this because if I was just sitting here going through his footage, it would have been fun for me, but I wouldn't have known any of the little details that he gave me. And then especially, filling in gaps of just blank. There were several clips there where you're like, this is what I'm looking at.
And even then, this is my first time watching it all the way back through. I looked at the kill shots, but I didn't go through a lot of it. There's a lot of
Things
stuff
you
that I
forgot.
forgot, yeah.
Including
The nest,
ending.
yeah, I don't remember that one at all. But yeah, it's neat.
All right, buddy. Well, thanks for sitting down. We got it. I'll put it out and we'll go from there.
Sounds good.
Well, I'm packing up my game and I'ma head out west where real women come equipped with scripts and fake breasts. Find a nest in the hills, chill like Flint. Buy an old drop top, find a spot to pimp. Then I'm a kid, rock it up and down your block with a bottle of scotch and watch lots of crotch. Buy a yacht with a flag